Okay, you guys, welcome to the channel. Are you ready? We have some samples to haul, y'all. Okay, like I actually gotta get organized before we jump into this video, I think. Hi, welcome back. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Kelly. I talk about all things fragrance, and today I have a really exciting fragrance haul for you guys. I did a samples haul like a while back. It's been a solid 6 to 8 weeks since I've received all these samples. And I've wear tested some of them. I've only sprayed once some of them. I've been wanting to do this video for you guys, but as I mentioned in my last video, I've got some crazy stuff going on in my personal life right now. Not gonna go into details quite yet. But yeah, just life has been like really hard. And yeah, that's why I haven't gotten around to it yet, but here I am. I'm excited to share all of these with you. These are not first impressions. None of these are first impressions. I have sprayed, I've got my labeled sample sticks here. This is literally how many samples I have to talk about today. There's a ton. And a couple of them I've done full wear tests for like multiple days. So some of them I have like more to share than others of them, but regardless, let's dive in. Okay, I feel like this is a little bit of an eyesore. Let's see. Okay, I'm totally overwhelmed with the number of fragrances I have. So I think I'm just gonna pull them all out first. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I did 2 separate sample orders. The first was from a company called Surrender to Chance. I had never ordered from them before, and you guys, I just wanna start this video off by telling you guys, Surrender to Chance was one of my most like pleasant experiences. And I have been having some rough customer service experiences lately with some fragrance companies. Let me just tell you, like I've almost come on here and like chewed some people out because I've been very angry actually with some of the things I've been experiencing. And I'm all about focusing on what's good and the positive and not necessarily like ratting people out for being really shitty with their customers, although I might at some point, but regardless, Surrender to Chance was a breath of fresh air after the problems I've been experiencing. I will go to them first from now on when I'm ordering samples. Like I can't even explain to you how positive of an experience it was. And I almost feel like maybe I should reach out to them and express my gratitude and see if maybe they have like an affiliate thing that they do or something so that I can give you guys a code. Because it was just, you guys, like hands down the best ordering experience I've had. So I'll start with the fragrances that I ordered from Surrender to Chance. And then my second sample haul was from Twisted Lily, which I love Twisted Lily as well. I've never had a bad experience with them. But we've got a lot of samples to go through. So let's start off with the very first one, which is Vanilla Rock Candy by KAYALI. And most of you guys have probably smelled this already, maybe not. When I did my first impression of this, I gave it a 9 out of 10. And then I wore test it, and I wore test it for 2 days, and I loved it even more on skin. My problem with this and with a lot of KAYALI's is that I wasn't getting a ton of longevity. Also, it's been very hot here in Austin, not as hot as usual actually, but it's been like, 98, 99 degrees. And so I'm wondering as well if that has something to do with it. I put it on I've got this much left. So I wore it for like 2 or 3 days. I wear tested it, and I put it on my full bottle list. Like I wanted a full bottle of it, but then I actually moved it to my smaller size list. So I have a list that I want of full bottles and then like 10 ml sizes. So I think what I'm gonna do is order the 10 ml size first, just to continue wear testing it before I go for the full bottle. But you guys, this is so pretty. I'm not pulling up notes or anything. I'm just giving you guys like my quick thoughts on it. It's so pretty. It's like a really fruity vanilla with like cotton candy and like this like fluffiness to it. I think it's like marshmallow. It's a really sweet, it's somewhat youthful, very playful, very flirty. It's like if you took kind of the vibe of sparkling lychee and like mixed it with vanilla 28. It's really, really pretty, you guys. I love it. And when I wore it on skin, like all of these different nuances came out, it became like a way more complex, less linear fragrance. It's so pretty. It's so girly. Yeah, I highly recommend this. If you're a KAYALI fan, if you're a vanilla fan, if you're like a candy fragrance fan, if you like sweet fragrances that aren't just like ridiculously sweet, like this is just such a good fragrance. Again, 9 out of 10. It would be a 10 out of 10 if the longevity had performed better. But again, I'm not giving up quite yet on the longevity. I would like to test this out in like somewhat cooler months. Okay, next we have ELLIS Brooklyn Miami Nectar. I will go ahead and just tell you guys, I am probably the only person on the internet that doesn't like this fragrance. And I really tried. I wore tested this for 2 days. It's not for me. It's not for me at all. I gave it a 7 on my first impressions. And then, yeah, I understand the appeal. I do. It opens up with this really like juicy pineapple, and it definitely has this very like tropical coconutty thing. But then what happens is immediately it turns into this like generic, so there's like a generic mall scent, if you guys know what I mean. You can pick it up sometimes in designer fragrances, but now there's like this new generic Sephora scent and it smells like Sol de Janeiro. Like, see, on paper, this smells good though. Like the pineapple smells really good. It just smells so generic to me. Like when I wore tested, I was like so bored by this. And I love ELLIS Brooklyn. So like normally I'm super into her fragrances, but I just was not into this. I did the 3rd day I wore tested it. I sprayed it on my skin and then I went outside and it was like 100 degrees out and it made it feel more like tart and juicy, like wearing it outside in the heat. But then it like didn't last that long and I was like, okay, well, I guess that experience wasn't here to stay. I don't know. I just feel like I don't understand the hype around this. I just really don't. So that's my honest take on Miami Nectar. Okay, next we have another new release from THEODOROS KALOTINIS. This is Creme Brulee, and I have mixed feelings on this. For my first impressions, I gave it a 7. And I need to properly wear test this. The only 2 that I've properly wore test were the first 2 that I shared with you guys. So everything from here on out, I've only done first impressions. But this, to me, is good, but it doesn't smell like creme brulee. I was really hoping that it would like encapsulate that smell. You know when you're in a restaurant and like someone ordered creme brulee and you can like smell that like burnt sugary crust smell coming from the kitchen. If you've ever worked in kitchens before or in restaurants before, you know that smell I'm talking about. That was the smell that I was hoping I'd get from this. But actually creme brulee is more of like a coconut custard. So it's really good. It's just the name just doesn't, I feel like the name isn't really like appropriate, to be honest. But if I think of this as a coconut custard, then it's really, really good. It's very well done. It's popular for a reason. And I'm kind of personally moving away from gourmands. I feel like I'm not like as into them as I used to be, but this is really, really pretty. It's really smooth, really creamy. It's sweet. It's pretty sweet, but it's not like disgusting sweet. And yeah, it's more of a coconut gourmand than like a coconut kind of suntan-y sort of vibe. But yeah, first impression was a 7 out of 10, and I'll let you know how I feel about it more when I wear test. Side note, I'm about to reinvigorate my TikTok and my Instagram accounts that I had for my fragrance stuff. So what I think I'm going to be doing, this is the idea that I had, and let me know in the comments if you think this is a good idea. On my TikTok, I was gonna do full reviews after I properly wear test something. So I'll do like a video where I give you my full review, my full thoughts on everything. And then on Instagram, what I thought would be really fun, because I love pairing a fragrance with like music and a scene. So I thought I would get super creative and like create like video and pick a song to go with the fragrance. And then in the caption, I would like write out my full review, but just to kind of give the experience of a fragrance through sound, through sight, through nose, you know, like encompassing all the senses. But anyways, more to come on this. More to come on this. Okay, next we have by Chloe. This is the Nomade de Nuit d'Egypte. And I gave this on first impression an 8.5. This is really pretty, you guys. I can't remember what the notes are that are in here. But it has just like this like kind of clean, spicy, like almost woody, but like there's something in there that's like, I think it's myrrh maybe. And then there's like this floral aspect too that I can't remember exactly what it is. Maybe jasmine, I can't remember. But this is really, really good. I'm very excited to wear test this. This is kind of exactly what I wanted this to be. And it's funny because when I was in Amsterdam a couple months ago, I smelled this at like a duty-free shop just like in passing because I was so excited and I didn't like it. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna order a sample anyway because you can't really ever tell from just like spraying something on a card, you know, you need to like properly wear test it. Oh man, this is just so pretty. It's very sexy. It's very like ancient smelling. It's just, yeah, I really like this one. Okay, next, a newer release from the house of AKRO. This is Infuse. I gave this a 9.5 on my first impressions. I feel like after wear testing this, that might go down. Actually, it might stay up. It's really interesting. It smells like something familiar. Yeah, this has a really beautiful, like, it's like a smoky tea. And then there's some other element coming in. I don't have any notes in front of me today, but there's something almost like floral. Maybe, is there some iris in this maybe? There's something really like smooth and like creamy and kind of a floral way that comes in. Yeah, wow. Yeah, wow. This is really, really unique. Wow, there's something in here like, wow. I cannot wait to wear test this. No wonder I gave it a 9.5. This is like, it's like really sexy in like a different kind of way. There's something so like magnetic that's like hiding in the background, like right behind the tea. It's very smoky though. I feel like if you don't like smoky fragrances, you're not gonna like this. Wow, that is just, oh, I almost had it. What is that smell? What am I getting? It's gotta be iris. There is something so beautiful in here. Wow. Okay, I'm super excited to wear test this. I'm gonna move this up the list. Definitely, for sure. Okay, next we've got Room 1015 WAVECHILD. I gave this a 6 on my first impression. Let's see if anything's changed. I'm sure I gave it a 6 because of the melon note. I'm not super big on melon. Yeah, it's just very melony. Again, it has that kind of like generic Sephora smell. Like, I don't really smell any artistry in here. Everyone's been raving about this. And I'm just not sure. I'm getting like a weird kind of like barfy element as well. It's like sour. Yeah, not for me. Okay, let's move to Peach's Revenge. Another one that people have been like raving about. I gave it a 6.5. So let's see why. All of these are gonna get wear tested, so no one's gonna get left behind. Sometimes 6s turn into 9s, sometimes 9s turn into 3s. Yeah, no, this could turn around. It's like a spicy peach. There's definitely like some nuances to this. It's very spicy. I'm getting maybe some cinnamon, maybe some cardamom. Is there some rum in here as well? It's got this like sugary kind of vanilla thing. Oh, is there clove in here? It's nice, it's very spicy. I feel like I'm getting a lot of cinnamon and clove. I want, as much as I said I'm not super into gourmands anymore, I want this to be more gourmand. But yeah, I don't know. 6.5, I feel like that might go up when I wear test it. All right, next, you guys, everyone has been raving about this one. This is Donna Karan's Cashmere in Palo Santo. Let me find the allotted blotter stick. Okay, I gave this one an 8 originally. Yep. Okay, right out the gate, this smells like Silky Woods from Goldfield and Banks, but like way better. If you like Silky Woods, or even like, I would go as far to say Sugar Leather, although it's not the same. I feel like, oh my God, this is real good. What did I give it? An 8? This is like sweet, woodsy, sexy. Like the Palo Santo is like just perfect. This is very smooth. This is very sweet. It's sweeter than I thought it would be. That cashmere effect is like, wow, this would be a really good date night fragrance. Yum. Okay, once I wear test that, it's definitely gonna be more than an 8, I'm sure. Okay, the next one is another KAYALI. This is Smoky Oud. This kind of like came and then like kind of went. And originally I gave this a 7 on my first impression. This is another one. I think the rating will go up once I wear test. But this is a really beautiful, very beautiful Smoky Oud fragrance. It's smoky. It's not as smoky as I was anticipating. It's very heavy on the, what am I getting? Geranium? Yes, very heavy on the geranium. The opening is pretty smoky. I remember with this, the dry down goes into like a geranium patchouli direction. It kind of almost has rich auntie vibes, but then also kind of like has this little like bohemian twist to it. Like picture someone who listens to a lot of Fleetwood Mac and like has like a crystal collection and like maybe likes to get down with a bottle of whiskey once in a while. Like I just picture her wearing this, but it's also like very elegant and refined at the same time. Like, yeah, this one I definitely need to wear test more, but so far I'm intrigued. Okay, next we have one that like, okay, this cost, see that little bit of liquid? That cost like, I think I paid like 20 bucks for this because this is like a very, I can't remember exactly how much I paid for it, but it was like not cheap for this little amount because you can't really like find this anywhere. And I was super excited about it because I love DS and Durga, and who doesn't want like a hard to find fragrance to test out, you know? It's called Wipeout, and like the notes sounded really cool. It has, I think, guava. It's supposed to be like very like surf inspired fragrance. And I just was like, I gave it a first impression of 2. That's the number, 2 out of 10. Because it literally just smells like sand and salt water. Like there's nothing going on with this fragrance. It's so bizarre. Anyways, all right, I saved the 2 best for last. So my second favorite from this sample haul was my very first experience of Zoologist. This is called Rabbit. I gave this a first impression score of 8 out of 10. And then one night I sprayed just one spray on myself before bed, went to bed. I woke up in the morning and I was having like a full-blown psychedelic experience from this fragrance. So to me, this fragrance smells like you follow the rabbit down the hole. You're in Wonderland and you're sitting at the table with the Mad Hatter and you're eating his crumpets and drinking his tea, and you've like eaten the red pill or whatever, and you just are like having a full-blown psychedelic experience. Like this is the fragrance to, it just smells like a mushroom trip to me. Can I say that on YouTube? I hope so. Hopefully this video doesn't get taken down. Yeah, this is like insanity. I'm in love. Like definitely need a full bottle. It's a 10 after I've been wearing it a couple times, but it's so odd. It literally smells like rabbit fur. It's so bizarre. At first, when I very first sprayed this, I was like, ugh, like I literally wanted to vomit. And now I love it. It's the definition of like a warm, fuzzy blanket, and there's like an animal under the blanket with you. Like it smells like rabbit fur, but it also smells like kind of like carrot cake. It's sweet, it's so comforting, it's so warm and nurturing, but there's also this very like psychedelic, like out there element to it that I literally can't describe, except that it makes you feel like you're in Wonderland. Like you are in the experience, or it kind of actually smells like what a dream state smells like. It smells like a dream. I don't know how else to explain this. If anyone else has smelled this fragrance, like, do you agree with me about how crazy this is? Like, wow, it's just, I need to do a full review of this fragrance because I don't even have words for it. Like, it's just such an experience like no other. I just don't even, are all the Zoologist fragrances like this? Because if so, I cannot wait to get my hands on them. Wow. So good. Okay, and then my absolute favorite from the Surrender to Chance haul is from my new favorite house. It's called SNIF, and the fragrance is the Heal the Way fragrance. Now, I gave this a 12 out of 10 on first impression, and I have not like given a proper wear test where I take notes and everything, but I literally can't stop spraying. I know I'm getting a full bottle of this for sure. This is a pistachio fragrance at the end of the day, but you guys, this brings me back. This brings me back to being like 19, 20, being like up in my friend's attic, burning Nag Champa. This does not smell like Nag Champa. It kind of does, but it's this experience. It literally brings me back to like 2001 and like just sitting up in his attic, like getting really high, to be honest, watching surf videos, burning Nag Champa. He used to wear this Skin Trip body lotion. Does anyone know about the Skin Trip, which is like coconut? I don't know if there's any coconut in this. It has like this smoky, incensey warmth to it. Like, yes, it's a pistachio fragrance, and I get that. But like mostly what I'm getting is like a very like Nag Champa, but in like a sweet, like comforting, old school kind of way. Like this is just so pretty. It almost smells like pipe smoke. Did anyone have a grandpa that smoked a pipe? It almost smells like that. It's like the sweetness of pipe smoke. This is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna buy a bottle of this and then buy another bottle of this and then probably buy another bottle of this. Like this will never leave me because it just brings me back. It's so spot on to the smell that I used to smell. It's so spot on. Like I've never had, if I could bottle a memory and make it a fragrance of a specific time and space, like this would be the bottled memory of that time for me. Like it's bananas. So I don't know if you guys will have as equally of a jarring experience in a good way with this fragrance, but it's beautiful. Like it's so warm and comforting and inviting and nurturing. Like this is such a beautiful fragrance and so perfect for like what they were going for here with like this sort of like healing, nurturing, calming, meditative kind of state. I can't even, it's beautiful. So anyway, so many wins from this sample haul. Now we're gonna move into the Twisted Lily section next. Okay, just took a short break, so the lighting might be a little bit different and the angle might be a little bit different, but that's okay. So we're moving on to the Twisted Lily sample haul. So I love ordering from Twisted Lily because their samples are pretty inexpensive compared to other sites. Like generally when I want to sample something that's pretty popular, I'll check like a couple of different sites, and it's not usually going to be like a huge price discrepancy, but it is nice to like only pay $5 at Twisted Lily and like somewhere else it might be like 7 or 8, you know. The other benefit of ordering samples through Twisted Lily is that when you do, they give you a coupon code for 15% off. So anything that you like, that you want to purchase a full bottle of, you can get that 15% off, which is great. So let's get started with the first sample. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 11. This first one was super hyped a couple months ago. This is by MANCERA. It's AMORE Cafe. I did not actually do a first impressions rating on this one. I remember liking it, but not like being super blown away, and I had really high expectations for this one, but also it's a coffee fragrance, and I feel like I've never found a coffee fragrance that like truly blows me away. So yeah, this is nice. Oh, I remember why I was super excited about this, because we went to Europe a couple months ago and got on this like affogato kick. If you haven't had affogato before, it's vanilla ice cream with like hot espresso poured over the top, and it has like this really distinct taste. It's like this perfect combo of like the bitterness from the espresso and then the sweet creaminess from the vanilla ice cream. And I was really wanting Amore Cafe to smell like that. And it kind of does, but it's not like as creamy as I wanted it to be. It's a little bit more heavy on the coffee. It's a really good coffee scent. Like if you love the note of coffee, you'll probably really like this. And I do like it actually. I do need to wear test this because I feel like I could like it more the more time I spent with it. I think I just was like, I had this very particular idea in my head of what I wanted this to smell like, and it didn't. And you know, of course I was like slightly disappointed, but I think this is a good fragrance. I understand why people are so excited about it, and I'm excited to give it some more time. Okay, the next one was another one that I was super excited about. This is by the House of Matiere Premier, and this is called Vanilla Powder. And I was really excited about this because of the note. I believe it has a note of Palo Santo in it. And I like the House of Matiere Premier. It's not my favorite. I do like it. There's something missing for me though. So I did write down that on first impression, I rated this an 8 out of 10. So let's go ahead and see what the deal is with this. Oh yeah, I remember why. Okay. Yeah, because this smells really good. It's like it's almost more coconut than vanilla. And you can definitely smell the Palo Santo. It's like a woody coconut. It's actually pretty good now that I'm smelling it again. The thing that turned me off about it the first time around is that it has that like Sol de Janeiro vibe. So a couple of months ago, I ordered from Sephora, and I got, for my samples, I got this like these Sol de Janeiro packets, like shampoo and conditioner packets. I'm trying to remember what they were called. Anyways, they smelled very like generic mall smell. Like I just did not like the smell. And I think it was both the shampoo and the conditioner was coming out of the packet with like these chunky white stringy things in them. And then you'd like, and I thought it was some sort of like new technology, right? I was like, oh, this is really cool. So I like washed my hair, and then like all night I was pulling these like little white strings out of my hair. And then I went online and like looked it up, and everybody was experiencing the same thing and like not into it. So I don't know if it was like a bad batch or like what the deal was, but this smells kind of exactly like that shampoo, which yeah, kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But I do really like the coconut smell in here. Like this is really nice. So I need to play with this a little bit more. It's definitely not like as vanilla as I think a lot of people were hoping. I kind of knew that that was going to be the deal because I had watched some reviews before I got my hands on a sample. So yeah, we'll see. I'm going to play with this some more. Okay, next up is one of my favorites from this sample haul. This is Tilia by Marc-Antoine Barrois. And this was done by Quentin Biche. I fell in love with this like immediately when I sprayed it on, which was funny because I had low expectations for this. So I rated this a 9.5 out of 10 on first impression, and I'm in the middle of wear testing this. So I've worn it for one full day, like full sprays. I've got a couple more days to go with it just to get like full clarity on how I feel, but this is so pretty. Oh my God. This is like literal sunshine in a bottle. Like there's no other way to describe this than like a sunny afternoon. Like it's the most golden smell. It smells so good. There's a jasmine in here that's just like absolutely incredible. So this has linden blossom, which is like the top top note, the main note. Broom, Jasmine Sambac, Vetiver, Heliotrope, Georgie Wood, and Amber Fix. I definitely smell the heliotrope too. This is just so good, you guys. Like, if there's one fragrance to get your hands on, if you're a floral lover and you like those like bright, joyous, golden kind of fragrances, this is an absolute masterpiece in my opinion. I will probably get a full bottle of this because it's just so good. This is just incredible. Yeah, but I'll do a full review once I'm done wear testing for sure. Okay, next up we have one from ROJA. This is Isola Sol, and this is an apricot, ylang ylang, and sandalwood fragrance. My first impression rating was a 7.5 out of 10. Let's see how I feel about it now. Interesting, I can like smell the notes so much better now. Oh wow, I got some in my mouth. This is very much ylang ylang. The apricot's definitely there. Yeah, this is really pretty. I definitely like this. I just feel like it's a little too generic for the price tag that I'm sure it has because it's a ROJA fragrance, you know, ROJA, I think. It's really pretty. It's really well done. It's just, there's nothing like groundbreaking about it. But if you do like ylang ylang, like if that's a really, favorite note of yours and you really like this house, I would definitely recommend getting your nose on it for sure. I just think like getting this in the same sample haul as TILIA, it just ruined it for Isola Sol because I'm like, well, TILIA is like 10 times better than this. But it is pretty. It is really pretty. So yeah, that one, I feel like just go in with low expectations. Okay, next we have one by the house of BDK, which BDK is either like total hit or total miss for me. It's really funny. This is Vanilla Leather. I gave this a 6 out of 10 on first impressions, but I can't remember why. So let's give it a sniff. Yeah. It's a little like screechy. It's just a little screechy and it's not enough vanilla for me. It kind of reminds me of Altair, but it's also been like 6 months since I've smelled that whenever it came out. This is nice. I think it, again, like same with the vanilla powder, it's just like what you're expecting is maybe not what you're getting, so it could throw you off a little bit. I do need to wear test this. I feel like I'm getting saffron. Yeah, and it feels like this is a little bit more masculine. I mean, it's definitely unisex, but I feel like it leans more masculine. It's just a little like rough and screechy. Like I'm not really getting a whole lot of vanilla. So yeah, I definitely want to wear this on skin and test it before I give like a final conclusion. But as of right now, I'm just kind of like, I feel like I've smelled this a million times. Okay, next we have one from Maison Crivelli. This is Oud Maracuja. I thought I was gonna love this one, you guys, because I love passion fruit like so much. And I like oud, so I thought I was gonna like it. Looks like on first impression I gave it a 6.5. Let's remember why. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is just super intense. I mean, I do kind of like it. It's just, it's super like bombastic is the best way I can think of to describe this. Like it's super loud. It's kind of obnoxious. It's very like daring. It's a little just like in your face. Like you definitely need to have a bold personality to wear this, I feel like. And I do like, I can smell the passion fruit. It smells really good. It smells like real passion fruit. It doesn't smell very synthetic. And the oud is really nice. Just the combo, it's just very loud. That's all I can think of to describe it. So I think some people might really appreciate this. And I might, the more I wear it. I haven't worn this on skin yet. Yeah, it's definitely probably gonna be a polarizing fragrance for sure. Okay, next, I almost saved this for last because this is one of my absolute favorites from this lineup. This is BDK's Saint Honoré. So like I said, with BDK, it's either love or hate for me. Not love or hate, just most of them I'm like, eh. The only one that I like freaked out over was Gris Charnel, but then I found this one and I'm freaking out over this as well. I definitely need a full bottle of this. I rated this a 9 out of 10 and I haven't really wore tested it yet. But this is so pretty. This is like the softest, cleanest, most accurate representation of like strolling down a street in Paris. To me, this just reminds me of Paris. This is like the smell of Paris. It's so pretty. It's very like subtle, skin scenty, musky, very light. Some people aren't going to be wowed by this. I personally love it because it, like I said, it encapsulates what Paris smells like to me. Like this is the smell of Paris. It is so, so pretty. I am very excited to wear test this and see how it performs on skin. But yeah, this is just really, really, really good. If you like, you know what, actually this would go really well. So I just got the Milk body lotion from Bath and Body Works. It like just came out. It kind of smells like this actually, slightly. This has more of like a powdery kind of feel to it. But this is just gonna be one of those perfumes that people aren't maybe necessarily gonna think like, oh, that person's wearing a perfume. They might just think it's like your natural scent because it smells that simple and kind of like subtle and clean. Oh, it's so good. If it's this good on paper, I can't even imagine what it's gonna smell like on skin. I'm super excited to wear test this for sure. Okay, next we have one from AMORE. This is the Rose Incense, Opus 7. And I don't remember why I ordered this because it's not new and I'm trying to just order new samples lately. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I think I'm just kind of in love with the house. I love AMORE, so I think I just wanted to try it. Let's see. Oh, I just got that on my finger. Oh yeah, they have the best fragrance, the best fragrances. Like anytime I smell an AMORE, I'm like, this is what I will wear when I'm like a billionaire. Like everything just smells so regal and royal and like elevated. This is really good. The rose in here is delicious. The incense is like not too churchy. It's really nice. It almost smells like frankincense, not incense. I wonder if there's frankincense in here. But this is really good. It smells like you're smelling literal raw materials. Like you can tell that the materials that they use in this fragrance are like super high quality. Yeah, it's really pretty. This might be a little too smoky for some people because of that incense note. Or maybe even like too resinous. If you thought that some of the, what was the name of the collection that Guidance was in? It's Lineage, Search, Purpose, and Guidance. I can't remember the name of the collection. I feel like it was like Discovery or something. I can't remember. But anyways, the frankincense in Purpose and Lineage were like really strong. If that bothered you, you're probably going to be bothered by this as well because it does smell very heavy on the frankincense. But yeah, that's really nice. I would not wear that on an everyday occasion. It definitely smells dressy and royal for sure. Okay, next we have Juliet Has a Gun, Ode to Dullness. This one I rated a 6.5 out of 10. Let's see why. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, to me this just smells like a very clean, literally smells like clean laundry. Yeah, it literally just smells like clean laundry. It's very soothing, very comforting. Very like cashmere feeling. It's nice. It's definitely going to be good for someone who likes those kind of clean, like laundered types of scents, just out of the shower kind of scent. I actually feel like this would be perfect to wear at night when you're like winding down, watching a show. It's very relaxing for sure. Yeah, to me, this smells really nice and I'm definitely gonna wear test it, but it's just not like, there's nothing really like groundbreaking about it, which I feel like is kind of customary with Juliet Has a Gun, you know? Except for obviously Not a Perfume was groundbreaking at the time. And I do like Lust for Sun a lot. But yeah, I don't know, on the fence about this one. Okay, and the last two samples I have are both from the House of Parfum de Marly. The first one, just spoiler alert, I did not love it. I gave this a 6 out of 10. This is KAYALI, and I had high hopes for this. And yeah, it just kind of fell flat. But again, haven't worn on skin yet. It just smells, first of all, it's super peachy. Very fruity, very feminine, a little sweet. There's like some florals coming through, maybe some rose, maybe some jasmine. It's just kind of like basic smelling. Like I'm not wowed by it. And I think probably because I smelled DONNA first, that was my first Parfum de Marly experience, and DONNA just like knocked my socks off. And so I feel like the bar is set super high for Parfum de Marly. So I think if I had smelled this before DONNA, I would be super into this. And I can smell that DNA. Like it's definitely a good fragrance. I'm not like obsessed with it. I'm not in love with it. And I think maybe partly because of the peach note, it's not my favorite note in fragrance. But yeah, I will definitely wear test this and give it some time. And then the final fragrance is Valaya, and this was a 9 out of 10 for me on first impression. And I noticed how much this smells like Tilia, and did a little research and realized that Quentin Biche did both Tilia and Valaya. So really interesting. I did side-by-side compare them. They're not like exactly the same. There's some key differences that I need to like revisit and write down, but very, very similar. This has a very uplifting, like sunny afternoon, although Tilia leans more like golden sunshine, like floral. This leans a little bit more like clean. Yeah, it's a little different. Very similar vibes though, very similar, very, very similar. I wish I knew off the top of my head what's in this. I'm not gonna look at the notes, but I think this also has linden blossom, I think. I'm guessing it has some sort of maybe tuberose, maybe jasmine. Definitely some muskiness going on in here. This is really, really pretty. This is like the perfect everyday fragrance that you could wear just doing like casual things. It smells super clean. It smells super uplifting. It smells grown up. It's not like juvenile in any way, or it's not boring. It's not basic. Like it's a very well done fragrance. But it smells very similar to Tilia. And I know that Quentin Biche did those probably around the same time, right? Maybe like 6 months apart. So yeah, it just makes me wonder sometimes when perfumers are working on the same two fragrances, like around the same time, are they doing it on purpose where like they're utilizing the same ingredients and then just like throwing a different spin on it? I'm guessing that's not the case, because I know that they get like requests from the house on like what the style is that they want, what notes they want, that kind of thing. But it's just really interesting how similar they are. Like they're really, really similar. I think that Valaya is sort of like the hip little sister to Tilia. Tilia smells slightly more grown, not in like a rich auntie kind of way, not in a vintage kind of way. It's just like slightly more elevated. Like if I had to choose between wearing Tilia or Valaya to like attend a wedding, I would probably choose Tilia. But if I was to like choose a fragrance to like run some errands, I would probably choose Valaya. I think that's like really the main difference. Do you need both in your collection? I don't think so. If you're like a collector and like you don't mind that there's just very subtle nuances between these, then yeah, I would get both of them for sure. But it's gonna give you the same kind of feel. Like not that much though, because Valaya, like I said, it's very clean. It's very like, yeah, just like clean, refreshing. Like it makes me feel like, okay, I'm together, I'm clean, I'm ready to go. TILIA literally smells like the word golden. Like if you could put a word to what TILIA smells like, it is golden, and it's a little bit different. It doesn't have that like almost soapy, almost laundry almost vibe that Valaya has. So yeah, some key distinctions there, but yeah, super interesting. I love this. And then I get into the conundrum in my head where I'm like, well, Valaya or TILIA, I don't know. That's a bridge I'm gonna have to cross when I get to it, but this is absolutely beautiful. So those are my samples from this particular haul. Let me know in the comments which ones of these have you tried? What are your thoughts? And what are some other good fragrances, new fragrances that you've sampled lately? What are you absolutely loving? Please let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.